Hey, what's up guys? It's Sarah Rogo. Today I'm going to take you on a journey to one of my gigs and walk you through step by step in regards to my process for equipment that I use during gigs to loading and unloading, all the different nuances that go into performing full time. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. And remember that I have a subscriber page on my website where I have exclusive content for you guys. So if you haven't signed up for that, you can go to my website, rogothewild.com, and sign up there. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hey, what's up guys? It's Sarah Rogo. So I've been a professional gigging musician for many years now, and when I say gigging musician, in this particular case, I mean playing at restaurants, wineries, golf courses, breweries. So yes, I play like artist gigs where, you know, I'm selling tickets and like my fans are coming, but sometimes you just kind of get tired and burned out, and those gigs usually don't pay that well. So what I do for the majority of my income is actually play at places like restaurants. So today I wanted to bring you inside the world a little bit and my process about what goes into playing gigs like this. Doing it for many years in a row, I definitely have a system down. So I wanted to bring you in that world a little bit. So I'm outside of a restaurant down in Carlsbad, California. I've actually never played here before. So I like to get here at least an hour early, and especially if I haven't played at a place before, an hour early. Before I unload my car, I go up, make sure I'm not double booked or have the wrong date, and I introduce myself and know where I'm gonna set up, find out where I'm gonna set up, and then I'll come back down and then I'll unload my stuff. So I'll show you a little bit of my process and even the gear that I use as well. So let's unload. All right, so I have, before I had a small Honda, and actually all my stuff ended up fitting in my Honda, but just barely. I ended up upgrading to a Kia Sorento just so there's more space. So I have a process. I can actually unload pretty quickly. But my primary number one piece of equipment that I'm very happy to have is this Hercules rock and roller cart. This is a lifesaver. It's expensive, it's like $100, but I don't know what I would do without it. So I bring that out and then I just load everything on it. So as you can see, I'm wearing not my gigging attire. Depending on the restaurant, I'll dress really nice. Obviously I don't want to sweat in the clothes that I'm wearing, so I'm wearing comfortable shoes and just a comfortable top. And usually after I set up, I'll change into what I'm actually going to be wearing, especially if it's summer. All right, so I'm gonna roll this into the venue, and then I'll come back after I set up for anything else small that I need, like my water bottle or you know, my change of clothes or something. So I'm gonna roll this in, and I'm on this really great cart, so I could just bring it anywhere. So just gonna cross the street, up their service elevator, because I'm actually playing on a rooftop. So I'll see you up there. Here up on the roof deck. Again, I've never played here. Assessing the situation, it's very loud. There's a lot of people, so I set up my equipment. Didn't get that filmed because it's just too hectic. So I'm going to quickly take you through some of my equipment that I use. So first things first, instead of a big PA, like a big with 2 speakers, I actually just use this Fishman Loudbox Pro. It sounds incredible, and you can plug the microphone in it, and you can also plug the guitar right in it, and it really amplifies to a super loud volume. And I like using this because I can just carry it with one hand. It is heavy, but it's much better than bringing some really big PA. And for places like this, I honestly don't need a really big sound system. So this saves me a lot of time, and it is a great product. Fishman Loudbox Performer. I couldn't recommend it enough. So I guess the next thing that I use is my Shure Super 55 microphone. It's my favorite because I like the sound of it and it looks cool. I know that sounds like kind of vain, but I just love the classic look of it. And when you're in a place like this, you are an entertainer, so the looks are a part of it. So I love this microphone because it sounds good and it looks really good. I sing a lot of types of classic styles of music, so it pairs well with that. So behind me is where I have my guitar stand. I bring 2 guitars with me at every gig. One is a standard tuning guitar, one is open tuning because I also play slide guitar. I have my Jazzmaster, American Standard or American Original Series Jazzmaster. It just has a great tone for playing solo. I really like it. It's nice and thick, but it's still an electric guitar because if I'm playing for 3 hours at a time, playing an acoustic guitar really hurts my hands. And then I have my National Resophonic slide guitar, and it's on the Hercules guitar stand. So that's always beside me. Always have 2 guitars. As for a mic stand, it's actually a super cheap mic stand. I prefer them cheap and light, so they're easy to carry. That's my personal preference. And for a lot of gigs, I bring this really interesting kick drum setup. Where it has a foot tambourine and it has a kick drum that's built into a suitcase. It's kind of unique, but as a solo artist, it kind of elevates the performance and adds a little pizzazz, especially at a place like this where they want like more upbeat music. I like to add some foot percussion to it. I could hire other performers to play with me, but it's really not feasible because, quite frankly, I want to take home all the money. Because if I'm spending the time driving down here, I really would rather not pay another musician to sit in with me. So I play foot percussion. So I obviously have a tip bucket. Honestly, I could improve this. I could have a nice looking tip bucket, but this is what I have for now. But what I did invest in was a collapsible stool from Amazon. It folds up into a little disc, and this way my tip jar is elevated. We got to turn this around. Tip jar is elevated so people, can see the tip jar and tip me. And I'll quickly show you my letterboard. I always have this letterboard with me, and it shows my Instagram, and I have some business cards down here. I'm always improving my setup, so this is constantly changing. But I really like the letterboard because it's nice and big. People can see my Venmo and find me on Instagram. Other than that, I bring a simple pedal board. All I use on my pedal board really is my tuner and my Flint Strymon pedal. And honestly, it's a pretty simple setup. That's really all I have. I always remember to bring an extension cord and extra cables in case my cables stop working. And I do have this little phone holder. I don't look at my phone too much when I'm playing at lyrics. I try to memorize them beforehand, but sometimes I'll pull up a tab or two, especially if it's a request from somebody. But I like it on here because I can quickly check the time. I can see my set list. I personally don't always create set lists ahead of time, but what I definitely do have is a master song list. And sometimes I break it up into tunings because I play in different tunings. So I'll have the standard tuning songs, or sometimes even fast songs, slow songs. And I just have all the songs to choose from. So I'm reading the room constantly, and I'm seeing like what the vibe needs. I try to break up slow songs, fast songs, originals, covers. And my number one, piece of advice for people who are interested in this type of work, you have to remember that this is not an artist gig. Yes, you are artistic, but you're actually serving a venue. So don't play places that aren't a good fit for you. Like for me, I don't play top 40 music. I don't play pop music. So oftentimes I'm at golf courses, I'm at brunches, I'm on rooftop gigs. I'm not really in like downtown bars. It just doesn't suit me at all, and I don't have fun there. So remember that you're here, yes, to enjoy yourself and play music, but you are here to serve a vibe. So don't be hurt if people aren't listening. People don't clap. People are loud. People are talking over you. It happens probably every single gig. And just know people are enjoying it, even if they don't say so, or even smile at you or clap. You are adding to the space. I think that's my main piece of advice. Always read the room as well. And if you have any questions, just check with the management. Is my volume too loud? How is it going? That also shows your professionalism within it all. So yeah, with that, I guess another piece of advice I have is I always have a starting song that makes me open up, relax, feel comfortable, that I'm really comfortable with. It's not like a banger that you want to save for the last, but it's a good upbeat song that makes people feel good and is not too in your face. So it's a nice opening song. I always choose one particular song and it just makes me relax and open up. Yeah, and be mindful of your breaks and, you know, when you're taking a break, and just have fun and try to remember that, you know, not everybody's going to like you, and just to have fun and do your thing. So with that, I'll talk a little bit more maybe on my break about how I utilize my break.
Painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, like you, teardrops in my eye, country roads, take me home, sing it now, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
All right, so I'm on my first break. Some sets feel like a lifetime of time, and then sometimes they feel really fast. Luckily, I'm actually right by the beach, so my main tip as a performer in a situation like this, obviously if there's people that want to say hi, I'll say hey, but honestly I like to remove myself from the scene, mostly for my ears and for like my energy. I really just need to be like alone. I usually sit in my car, but I'm right by the beach. Like, take a look at this view, it's amazing. So I'll take like a short walk. Honestly, like usually my breaks and my contracts are only like 10 minutes long. So I try to get out as soon as I can and just rest my ears. Usually my car is like my safe space where it's quiet. I try not to just get on my phone and scroll on social media. I try to just like close my eyes and breathe, rest my voice. But yeah, I mean, breaks to me are super important, and even sometimes setting up, I'll wear earplugs, especially if I'm in a noisy area like I was today. I wear earplugs as I set up, or my like AirPods, because it kind of blocks out some of the sound. Here, let's walk as we do it, because I like to also stretch out my legs, because I'm sitting, you know, for 3 hours. So yeah. I mean, every gig is different. As you could see, like, you know, when I was explaining some of my equipment, it was really loud up there. And sometimes I get really nervous with those really loud gigs because with rowdy crowds, I'm like, well, they like me. Is my music gonna like make them feel good, make them party, you know? But I be myself, and with a situation like that, I do banter with the people next to me, especially if they are engaging with me, which they were. I'll laugh with them. I'll say, oh, what are you celebrating? Are you here celebrating something? That kind of loosens me up as well. And it loosens them up as audience, and they want to listen and be invested in you as a person. And they'll usually tip you in a case like that. Especially if you find out what they're celebrating, if it's a birthday and you sing happy birthday, it's just like, it's great. So really understanding your crowd, reading the room, you pretty much know when people want to be left alone. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I've been doing this for, I don't even know how many years now, 5, 6 years, like full time. And some days it's really easy. And some days I just want to cry. Because it's like loud, I want to go home, or I feel like the vibe is not suitable for like my music. But honestly, like, it gets so much easier, and the more practice you can do, the better on these types of gigs. I personally book these types of gigs with agencies. You know, they find a place for me, take a cut, and I show up at the place, and the agency knows the type of music that I'm playing. They know their clients. So this gig was through like an agency, but sometimes it's just through contacting them, email, walking into a place that has live music, and getting someone's email of a manager and saying, hey, like, I'm a musician, here's my stuff, here's my music, I would love to play. Sometimes it's as easy as that, but I would recommend, first of all, playing open mics, as many open mics as you can, especially if you're a newer performer, and take the pay cut at first, you know, like play places. I used to play places, I think I played for like 3 hours, and I got like maybe like $100. Like, it was just like, you know, I guess for certain parts of the world or parts of the United States, it's pretty good, but I try to make a lot more than that. But at first, that's what I did. I hustled in like bars, dive bars and places, and, you know, just you get your heart broken with rejection if they don't want to have you back because, you know, you're not suited, your music's not suited, you know, you just have to like kind of honestly have thick skin and enjoy yourself as much as possible. And yeah, just realize you're not going to be every place's cup of tea, but just build up a reputation around a city, around a town, and you know, do your best to really serve the venue. Again, you are not really an artist in the situation, you are an entertainer. You have to be an actor. So yeah, and I guess my last piece of advice is that when you're on stage, even if it's not a stage, even if you're just like sitting in a corner, you're still on stage, right? So even if you're having a good time, you really need to show it, almost to the point where like you feel like you're on like an actress on Broadway or something, actor on Broadway. Don't be fake, obviously, but smile. Be dynamic with like how you use your eyes, how you look around, and how you move your shoulders, how you play your guitar, how you move, how you groove, because that really puts on a show. Even if no one's watching or listening, especially for the management and the people hiring you, if you don't look like you're not having a good time, nobody else will have the permission to enjoy you. So if you have a bad day, honestly, you just kind of have to act. You have to be an actor. You have to put on that face, as much as I don't like to say be fake, but like, and half the time when I am having a bad day and I get into my music and I move around, even if I'm faking it at first, it's kind of like fake it till you make it. I end up becoming in a good mood. So yeah, you are an actor, you are an entertainer, you are a performer. And you know, also that comes with cover songs. I do play originals at my gigs because I'm very confident in my originals, but I play a lot of really fun cover songs like Going to California by Led Zeppelin, Country Roads by John Denver, What's Up by Four Non Blondes, classics. I play Sam Cooke classics. I play some Elvis songs, like, you know, just the bangers. And it's funny because every time I play a song like that, I get tipped. So, you know, play your originals if you're confident in your originals, but cater to the crowd, you know. So anyway, this is probably the end of my break. I'm gonna head back in for my second set and try to have a good time. It is a good time. Honestly, the rooftop bar gigs are my favorite because the air is beautiful. I get to watch the sunset, so no complaints here.
But I do know that I love you, and I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this could be. Don't know much about geography, don't know much trigonometry,